Hello everyone, welcome to UrbanPro Live Masterclass. We are here with yet another informative and interesting masterclass for you. This is Sinchana from UrbanPro team, your host for today. Before we proceed further, I would like to inform all the attendees and YouTube viewers that UrbanPro is India's largest and most trusted learning network with over 7.5 lakh tutors and trainers. Through UrbanPro, you can easily find highly skilled and trusted personal tutors and trainers for your learning requirements. Okay, so coming back to today's session, we are presenting an interactive live masterclass on accountancy. Before we kickstart the presentation by our speaker, I would like to address our attendees and YouTube viewers that in case you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the Q&A box on your Zoom control panel. And moving on for those YouTube viewers, you can drop your questions on the chat box. And don't worry about your questions, we'll bring them after the presentation as we will have time for questions also. So without further ado, let's welcome our speaker, Mr. Vinay Raj. Vinay is an experienced and highly qualified accounts and economics tutor. Having won national and international awards in accounting research, he has over 8 years of teaching experience. And with great subject knowledge and experience, he's popular among his students for his efficiency and unique teaching skills. So, a warm welcome to Vinay Raj. We're thrilled to have you here. Over to you.
Thank you, Sinchana, for kind words. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this session. I promise you this session, you'll love it. You'll learn certain new things in this class. So let's start the class. So, whether in your 11th or 12th class, okay, so this, whatever the debit and credit rules and whatever I'm teaching today, it will be helpful for you because in 12th, okay, you're having this partnership accounts and company accounts which deals with the journal entries and ledger account. Anyway, in 11th, you will be doing the journal entries. So obviously you need all these things. Okay. So first we'll understand what is debit and credit rules, why it came, okay, and what is the importance of it. Okay. So first let me ask you a straight question. Okay, while learning English, okay, you have learned A, B, C, D in a specific order, right? Okay, have you ever asked why we are learning A, B, C, D in a specific order? Or else, do you know the logic behind it? Do you know why we write in that way? We don't know. Okay, so while learning this subject, because you have learned in this way, today you are able to read, today you are able to write, and today you are able to speak because you have followed this rule so blindly. Okay, we write A like this but not like this. Okay, if you ask me what is the logic behind it, there is no logic behind it. Everyone is following in this guy in this world, we also following in that way. In the same way, when you see plus, you add it. When you see minus, you subtract it. Okay, if you're asking me why, there is no reason or there is no logic. Everyone in this world is following in that way. That's all. That's why we are following. That is the only logic. Because we followed this plus and minus so blindly, today we are able to do the toughest mathematic problems because we followed this blindly. In the same way, in accounts also we are having the debit and credit rules. We are having just rules. Okay, the Luca Pacioli, okay, in the year 1500, he has set these rules. Okay, from that time, everyone is following these rules. Because everyone is following, we also following. There is no logic why these rules. Why not debit rules are applied for credit? Why credit rules are not applied for debit? If you're asking me, I'll ask the counter question. Why you write A like this? Why not like this? Okay, we don't have answers for it. The only answer is everyone is following, we also following. So before this debit and credit rules, what was the approach? It was a single entry system. Okay, till today the small businesses follow the single entry system. What does it mean? If they receive any income, let's assume 10,000, okay, they write 10,000. If they make any payment out of it, 2,000, they'll deduct 8,000. Again, if they receive any income, 1,000, they'll add. If there is any payment, again they deduct it. Okay, it will become 8,500. Any income they have received, 2,000, then it will become 10,500. Okay, there is no rules, there is no law. So you don't find the correct profit here, because when you're doing a business, there will be a lot of transactions which are in different in kind. Certain things might be expenditure, certain things might be assets, certain things might be income, certain things might be revenue nature and capital nature. You have to treat them differently. Then only you are able to find the correct profit and loss of the business. Now coming to the rules of debit and credit, we are having two approaches. Okay, one is traditional approach and another one is modern approach. Coming to the traditional approach, we are having three things here: personal account, real account, nominal account. Okay, personal account deals with the natural person, artificial persons. Okay, if a person, I mean in our business, if there is any receiver, we debit him. If there is any giver, we credit him. Coming to the real account, what comes in? It deals with the all kinds of asset. Okay, if asset is coming into the business, we debit it. If asset is going out of the business, we credit it. Coming to the nominal account, it deals with the expenses, losses, incomes and gains. If there is any expenses or losses, we debit it. If there is any incomes and gains, we credit it. Okay, now we'll see the modern approach. Modern approach, sir, what is the difference between traditional approach and modern approach? See, whichever approach you follow, you'll get the same journal entry. You'll get the same journal entry. There will be no difference. Okay, if I'm writing the journal entry, same transaction under the traditional approach, and if I'm writing the journal entry under the modern approach, the debit of traditional and modern approach will be same. In the same way, the credit of traditional and modern approach will be same. It's just an alternate method. Whichever method you follow, you'll get the same journal entry. Here what they are saying, if there is any increase in expenses and losses, it should be debited. If there is any decrease in expenses and losses, it should be credited. Okay, and if there is any decrease in capital and liability, income and gains, it should be debited. If there is any increase in capital, liability, incomes and gains, it should be credited. If you observe, here it is an increase symbol, here it is having a decrease symbol. Okay, and the components, I mean heads of the accounts is same again. Here it is a decrease symbol, here it is having a increase symbol. Okay, so we are having one Newton's law in science. What they say, for every action there will be a equal and opposite reaction. For every action there will be equal and opposite reaction. In accounts also we are having same kind of rule. For every debit there will be equal credit which is opposite. See, here you are debiting the assets, expenses and losses. When they are increasing, in credit you will in credit, when this same things decreases which is opposite, you will credit them. Okay, so I request all the students to note down this modern approach rules, because today we are going to do the journal entries under modern approach. And don't worry, I'll explain each and every word. What is asset, what is expenditure, what is loss, everything I'll be explaining whatever I have mentioned here. So I request the students to write down all these rules. Okay, debit, expenses, losses. Okay, credit, decrease in assets, expenses, losses. Same way, the debit, decrease in capital, liability, incomes and gains. Credit, increase in capital, liability, incomes and gains. Okay, just write it down. Okay, I hope you have written these rules. Okay, now let's understand each term of this. Okay, the first is asset. Assets can be classified into two types. One is fixed asset, one is current asset. What is fixed asset? The asset value which will not change in a short period. The value will change over a period of time. So give me examples. Okay, land, machinery, okay, goodwill, and furniture, building. These are the examples for the fixed assets. Suppose you have purchased a land worth of 50 lakhs today. Will the land value will change today itself? Will the land value will change tomorrow? No, it will change over a period of time. So can I say the land value in the short period it is fixed? I can write. So that's why we call it as a fixed asset. Land comes under fixed asset. Suppose you purchased a machinery worth of 10 lakhs. Today you have purchased. Will the machinery value will change today itself? No, it will not change today itself. Will it change tomorrow? No, it will not change by tomorrow. It will change over a period of time. But in the short period, the value of machinery will be fixed. That's why machinery will be coming under the fixed assets. Let's take a furniture example. You purchased a 2 lakhs worth of furniture. Because you have sat on it, which you have purchased today, will the value of 2 lakhs will come down to 1 lakh? No. It will change over a period of time, but in a short period, it is fixed. So that's why these examples, the land, machinery, goodwill, furniture, building, we call it as a fixed assets. Sir, what about current assets? What are the examples? Examples which you know that I'm giving: cash balance, bank balance. Sir, how come these are current assets? What is current asset? Current assets are the assets, the value will keep on changing with every transaction. So I did not understand anything. Give me example. Let's assume in your pocket you are having 10,000 rupees. You went to the big bazaar. You went to the big bazaar. Okay, and you purchased a 1500 worth of t-shirt. 1500 worth of t-shirt. So, will you have same 10,000? No, you will have 8,500. Okay, you came out of the big bazaar. I met you on the road and I have to give you 1,000 rupees. I have given 1,000 to you. Will you have 8,500? No, it will change. Your cash balance will change. Now it will become 9,500. It will become 9,500. Okay, now you went with your friend to the restaurant and had a biryani there. Okay, let's assume it is 500 rupees. Will you have 9,500 or it will change your cash balance? It will change. Now it will become 9,000. Okay, you reached your home. Your father gave you 1,000 rupees now. Okay, will you have same 9,000? No, it will change. It will become 10,000 now. Okay. With every transaction, whether the cash you are receiving or paying, the cash balances keep on changing. The cash balances keep on changing. That's why we call it as a cash balance. Okay. Now coming to the bank balance. Okay. Same thing will be applied to the bank also. The bank balance also will keep on changing with every transaction. That's why we call it as a current asset. For example, let's take a 50,000 is in your bank. SBI bank, you are having 50,000. Okay, out of 50,000, you have transferred 10,000 to your friend. Will you have same 50,000? No. Your bank balance will be now 40,000. Out of 40,000, again you have purchased something on Amazon and you made a payment through online. Let's assume the purchase is related to 5,000. Will you have same 40,000? No, it will become 35,000. Again, I have given some money because I have to give you, which I have to earlier. I have given you 10,000. Will you have same 35,000? No, it will keep change. Okay, it will become 45,000. If you observe whether you are receiving or paying or transferring to someone else, the balances keep on changing. That's why we call it as current asset. Someone has asked me goodwill. Goodwill is an intangible asset. Okay. Goodwill, suppose you have purchased a certain business. Okay. Suppose the business worth is 10 lakhs. The business worth is 10 lakhs and it is running successfully. Do you think the owner will sell at 10 lakhs? No, he'll not sell at 10 lakhs. He might be selling at 12 lakhs. Why you're paying extra 2 lakhs? Because the business is running successfully. That's why he's asking you to pay extra. That extra we call it as a goodwill. Okay, you have purchased a goodwill worth of 2 lakhs. Will the goodwill of the company will change today itself? No, it will change over a period of time. That means in the short period, the goodwill value is same. That's why we call it goodwill as under fixed asset. Okay, so these are assets. Now coming to the expenditure. What is expenditure? Expenditure is the amount which you have to spend regularly in your business. You have to incur this to run your business. Sir, why regularly? You have to pay salary regularly, right? That is expenditure. You have to pay the rent, right, to the owner. That too regularly. You will not pay once in a year or once in a while. Okay, you have to pay every month. You have to pay electricity bill. You have to pay the water bill. You have to pay the internet bill. Okay, you have to buy the goods for your business. So these things you spend regularly in your business. That's why we call it as an expenditure. Understood? Now coming to the capital and liability. What is capital and liability? First we'll understand capital is an insider fund. What is liability? It's an outsider fund. Sir, I did not understand anything. Give me example. Suppose you want to start a restaurant business. Okay, I am starting a restaurant business. I kept 20 lakhs as an investment. That is my own money. Okay, and I took 30 lakhs loan, 30 lakhs loan from a bank. Now tell me, 20 lakhs will become an insider fund or 30 lakhs will become an insider fund? Answer me. Which will be the insiders fund, 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs? Insider fund. 20 lakhs. Okay, very good. So 20 lakhs is the insider fund that we call it as a capital. Okay, what is 30 lakhs? It's an outsider's amount that is loan. So that we call it as a liability. Understood the difference between the capital and liability? Now let's understand the losses. Okay, suppose in your restaurant business, to make one plate of biryani, it will cost you 150 rupees. Okay, to make one plate of biryani, it will cost you 150 rupees. Suppose if you are selling that biryani less than 150, let's assume it is 130 rupees. So you will be incurring a loss of 20 rupees. Why? Because you made a biryani at 150 rupees, but you are selling at 130 rupees. So 20 rupees is a loss for you. Okay, now we'll understand the profits and gains. See, profit is different from gain. Generally, students assume profits and gains are one and the same, but actually they are not. Sir, how come? Suppose you are running a restaurant business. To make a one plate of biryani, it will cost you 150 rupees. Suppose if you are selling this biryani at 200 rupees, what is extra you are making? 50 rupees extra you are making. Now tell me, when you are doing a restaurant business, you sell the food regularly in your business and you make this 50 rupees regularly in your business. The amount which you are earning extra regularly in your business, the amount which you are earning regularly in your business, that extra we call it as a profit. Okay, sir, then what is gain? Gain is something which you make, okay, not every time. Okay, it might be once in a year or once in a while. Sir, give me example. Suppose in your restaurant business, you're having 40,000 worth of furniture and you have sold it for 50,000. You have sold it for 50,000. 40,000 ka cost, you have sold it for 50,000. How much extra you made? 10,000 extra you made. Are you doing restaurant business or are you doing a furniture business? Restaurant business. Will you sell furniture regularly in your business? No, we don't sell furniture regularly in our business. We sell the food regularly in our business. So this extra, the 10,000, you'll not earn regularly in your business. It's a irregular extra. This extra we call it as a gain. So what we can conclude, anything extra if you are earning regularly, which is your core business, that we call it as a profit. Anything extra which you earn irregularly, which is not your core business activity, but you made that extra we call it as a gain. So profit is completely different from gain. Profit is not equal to gain. Okay. Now, coming to, okay, we have done the assets, we have done the expenditure, we done the loss, we done the capital, we done the liability, okay, we have done the gain, profit, and we have to done the income now. What is income? Income is anything which we receive from our customers. It can be sales, and which can be a rent received, okay, commission received. With these also having a recurring nature, which is having a recurring nature, regular in nature. You'll receive regularly in your business. So these things we call it as a income. Understood? Okay. So these are the main things you have to remember. Again, once we revise the modern approach rules. Okay. So if not noted, okay, note down that one. 1 second, just be online. Yeah, please note down this one, or else just go through it, read 2 or 3 times so that it will be easy for you. Okay, we'll start now. Okay, I'll write a transaction now. What is transaction? First understand. Okay, so transaction is something which affects our business and which is having a monetary value. Sir, what is monetary value? Okay, see, we record everything in our books of accounts which can be measurable in terms of money. If you are unable to measure in terms of money, you cannot record in your books of accounts. Okay, so basically qualitative things you cannot record in your business. Suppose you're having a manager who is excellent, who is having excellent experience of 20 years. Because of his service, our business has grown by 10 times within a 5 years. You cannot write all these things. Okay, I'm having a manager, A categories, having 20 years of experience. All these things you'll not record in your books of accounts. You'll record how much salary you're paying to him in accounts. That's what you'll record, which is having a monetary value. Qualitative things will not be recorded. A plus category manager, I'm having 20 years experience, I'm having all these things you'll not record. Okay, let's take one more example. Rahul and Raju. These are two young entrepreneurs. Young entrepreneurs. Rahul is getting a mentorship from Mukesh Ambani, whereas Raju is getting a mentorship from Tata. Okay, Mukesh Ambani spending 1 hour of time with Rahul every month and giving suggestions how to improve his business. Tata is also suggesting Raju 1 hour in every month, okay, how to improve the business. So Mukesh Ambani is charging 20 lakhs per hour, okay, to help the Rahul, whereas Tata is charging nothing, it's free. Okay, so Rahul can record the services of Mukesh. Why he can record? Because Rahul ka business is affected by the Mukesh services. Might be it may improve or it may not improve. I mean, it may affect it positively or negatively and is paying some amount which is having a monetary value. So Rahul can record the services of Mukesh in the books of accounts, whereas Raju cannot record the services of Tata, because might be Tata services are affecting positively or negatively, but is not paying any money to the Tata. So Raju cannot transfer the record the services of Tata. Understood? Now I'll write a transaction. Okay. So let's write salaries paid in cash 10,000. Salaries paid in cash. Okay, so it is affecting my business and it is related to money. So it's a transaction. So this part we call it as a transaction. Okay, so when you find a transaction, there will be at least one debit and one credit in a transaction. Again, I repeat, in a transaction, there will be at least one debit and one credit. So you have to identify those accounts. Okay, so one is salaries account, one is cash account. Okay, after identifying the account, you have to identify salaries comes under which category. Now tell me, salaries comes under a asset, income, expenditure, loss, capital or liability. I have given earlier example under expenditure, salaries I have written. So salary is a expenditure. Cash also I have explained to you under one category. Cash comes under a asset, that is current asset. So cash is a asset. After identifying the category of account, then you have to identify whether it is increasing or decreasing. So salary is, when you're paying, it's an increase in expenditure. Okay, because you're paying the salaries, your cash balance will decrease. Sir, how come? Suppose in my cash box I am having a 1 lakh rupees. I've paid 10,000 rupees as a salary. Okay, now I'll have a cash balance of 90,000. It's a decrease in cash, right? Decrease in cash is nothing but decrease in asset. Decrease in cash bole to decrease in asset. Okay, so increase in expenditure should be debited or credited as per modern approach. See the rules. Where is increase in expenditure? See the rules. Increase in expenditure and answer me in the chat box. Increase in expenditure should be debited or credited. Increase in expenditure should be debited or credited. Under which it is there? Under debit we are having increase in expenditure. Okay, someone has said Saroj. Okay, so he said it should be debited. So salaries should be debited. Now decrease in asset, where it is? Sir, one is debit, no, other one will be credit. No, you cannot say like that. Okay, already the CBSE and changed the pattern. Okay, objective type. They may ask you the transaction and they may ask you why you are crediting the cash. What is the reason? So you should be able to say like that. Okay, you cannot answer. Okay, sir, one is debit, no, other one credit. No, you should know the logic. Then only you can do the accounts. Okay, so decrease in asset should be credited. Okay, so first I have to write the debit item. You should always write a debit item in a journal entry. So I'm writing a debit item now. What is debit item? Salaries. What is credit item? Cash. So I'm writing a debit item. Salaries, account, data. Leave a little space here. Okay. To cash account. I'm not drawing the pro forma just to save over time so that we can discuss more transactions and journal entries. Okay, so 10,000 in debit, in credit also 10,000. Sir, why you are writing two amounts? Already I have told you, for every action there will be a reaction. For every debit there will be equal and opposite credit. Okay, so when you are writing debit 10,000, credit also you have to write 10,000. Okay, so this is not journal entry, still you have to write more in journal entry, that is narration. Okay, it always in a bracket, it will always start with the word being. So being salaries paid in cash. Now some students may be getting a doubt, sir, already in transaction you have written, again why you are writing same statement in the narration? So before explaining that, I would like to explain one more thing here. This whatever I have drawn, I mean under circle, it's a journal entry. So journal entry will have at least one debit, it will have at least one credit, and it will have narration. Sir, what is narration? Narration is an explanation to the debit and credit. Now coming to the question. Why you have written in transaction, why you have written again here the same thing by adding the being word? See, transactions will be written in one book, journal entries will be written in another book. Transactions will be written in one book and journal entries will be written in one book. Sir, why you are saying book? Everything is computerized. No. Yes, everything is computerized, but in the olden days it's completely books. And at the same time, when it is computerized, everything, why you are learning accounts? Computer may make mistakes, or the person who is entering the data in the system might be tally or something. He make a mistake, so you should be in a situation to correct the data, right? That means you should know the subject. So that's why we are learning in the books, not in the computers. Okay, so you should learn this subject first. Okay, coming to the point, why you're writing again? Transactions will be another book and journal entries will be another book. Now you know the accounts. Why you have debited salaries, you know. Why you credited the cash, you know. But do you think Mukesh Ambani also knows the accountancy subject? Let's assume he doesn't know the subject. Okay, but being a owner of a company is having every right to see the books of account. Again, I repeat, being a owner of a company is having every right to see the books of account. Suppose transactions ka book is not there, and let's assume this narration we did not write, and Mukesh Ambani is reading, he doesn't know accountancy subject at all. Okay, he might be reading like this: salaries A by C DR 10,000 into cash A by C 10,000. He'll understand anything? He won't understand anything. So the person who doesn't know the subject, okay, layman, for him we write this narration saying that being salaries is paid in cash. When a Mukesh Ambani reads this, then he'll understand, okay, they have debited and credited this salaries and cash because they paid the salaries in cash. Okay, because transaction will be in another book. Remember, okay, journal entry will have narration. Okay, when you are practicing, lot of students they just write debit and credit, they will not write the narration. And some students, when they find the debit item, they'll assume other account is credit. Might be there will be another debit also. Okay, what I said, there will be at least one debit and at least one credit. That means there will be more than one debit and more than one credit also. Okay, when you have found one debit, the other one, if you are thinking credit, it might be a debit. So you should read the transaction properly and you have to find the number of accounts. Then you have to find which is debit and which is credit. Blindly, you should not write the credit if it is one is debit. Blindly, you should not debit one account if another one is credit. Okay, so we'll do the one more thing. Okay, next, rent received in cash 5,000. Here also we have to identify two accounts. What are the two accounts? Rent received is one account, cash is one account. After identifying the accounts, you have to identify under which category these accounts will come. Now, rent received, is it an asset? Is it expenditure? Is it income? Is it a liability? It's a income because you are receiving it. Okay, when you are receiving the rent, your income will increase or decrease? Obviously, it will increase. Now coming to the cash, You are receiving the cash, that is nothing but cash comes under a asset. When you are receiving a cash, it is an increase in asset because your cash balance will increase. Now see the rules. Increase in income should be debited or credited. It should be credited. Increase in asset, see the rules. Increase in asset where it is under debit or under credit, will be under debit. So cash should be debited, rent received should be credited. So I am writing the journal entry now. Okay. So cash account data. Why am I writing cash first? Because debit item should be written first. Cash account data to rent received. Sir, why rent received? Why not only rent account? Because you may pay the rent, you may receive the rent. So you should be specific. So rent received account I am writing. How much is the value? 5,000. 5,000. Okay, did I complete the journal entry? No. I have to write the narration. Being cash received for rent. Okay. This is one transaction, one journal entry. Now let's do another one. Cash deposited into bank. Okay, 25,000. Now again same process. Identify the two accounts. Cash is one account, bank is one account. After identifying the account, you have to identify cash comes under which category. Cash comes under a asset. Bank comes under which category? It is also asset. I have told you bank is a current asset. Okay, when you're depositing cash into bank, your cash balance will increase or decrease. Let's take an example. In your cash box, you're having a 1 lakh. Out of 1 lakh, 25,000 you are taking and depositing into the bank. What will be the cash balance now? It will be 75,000 because out of 1 lakh you took the cash of 25,000 and you kept in the bank. So in your cash box you'll have 75,000. It's a decrease in asset. Sir, what about the bank? In bank you're having 50,000, 25,000 you kept in the bank. Now your bank balance will be 75,000. So it's an increase in asset. Now see the rules. Decrease in asset should be debited or credited. And see the increase in asset whether it should be debited or credited. So decrease in asset should be credited. Increase in asset should be debited. Okay, now I am writing the journal entry. First I have to write the debit item. That is bank account data to cash account. 25,000. 25,000. Now write the narration. Being cash deposited into bank. That's it. Okay. So we'll do one more thing. Fourth one. Cash bought into business. Cash bought into business. Let's write 20,000. Okay. You have to identify two accounts. Obviously, one is cash account and one more account is business. Actually, business account you should not write in the accounts. You should not write the business account in the books of accounts. Instead of business, we write the capital. Instead of business, we should write a capital. Okay. So now coming to the cash. Always we do the accounts from the point of business, not from the point of owner. Business is different, owner is different. You'll think I am the business and you'll write the books of accounts. You should not think I am the owner and writing the books of accounts. So we'll write the books of accounts from the point of business. Now we'll read again. Cash bought into the business. That means when you're doing the accounts from the point of business, cash will increase or decrease. When you're bringing the cash into the business, it will increase. Cash comes under which category? It is an asset. Now coming to the capital. Cash is coming excuse me, cash is coming in the name of capital. Cash is coming in the name of capital. So it's an increase in capital. Sir, how come you'll say it's an increase in capital? Let's take an example. Already having a capital of 50,000, owner bought more 20,000 into the business. What will be your total capital now? 70,000. Is it an increase in capital or decrease in capital? It's an increase in capital. So increase in capital should be debited or credited? Obviously, it should be credited. See the rules. Increase in capital should be credited. Now we have to write the journal entry. What is the journal entry? Debit item first, cash account data to capital account. Okay. What is the amounts? 20,000. 20,000. Okay. So this is a journal entry. Only when I write the narration. Being cash bought into business. Okay, this is what. Okay, now we'll do one more thing. Fifth one. Okay, furniture purchased by check, 12,000. You have to identify two accounts. One is furniture, one is check account. Sir, why check? Check will not come. Instead of check, you have to write the bank. Sir, why bank? Check is related to bank. That's why I'm writing bank. In journal entries, you will never find check account. You will not find in journal entries business account. Instead of business, you'll write the capital. Instead of check, you'll write the bank account. Because check is related to the bank, that's why I'm writing bank account. Now coming to the furniture. Furniture comes under which category? It's an asset. Okay, when you're purchasing a furniture, is it an increase in furniture or decrease in furniture? It's an increase in furniture. How? Suppose you're already having a 20,000 worth of furniture. Again, you have purchased a 12,000 of furniture. Total furniture in your business is 32,000. So is it an increase in furniture or decrease in furniture? Increase in furniture. Increase in furniture should be debited or credited? It should be debited. Keep the rules in front of you. Okay, if you know the rules, then only you can do. You have to buttify them. Sir, why you are saying buttify them? See, there is no logic. Okay, why there is no logic? When you don't know the logic, you have to buttify them. Okay, you have buttified the ABCD. That's why you are able to read, write, and speak today. To do the accounts, you have to buttify the rules of debit and credit. Whether it is a traditional approach or whether it is modern approach, you have to buttify. Then only you learn. Okay, so increase in assets should be debited, so furniture account should be debited. Now coming to the, when you purchase a furniture by issuing a check, your bank balance will increase or decrease? Obviously it will decrease. Decrease in bank balance should be debited or credited? It should be credited because banks will come under a asset. Decrease in asset should be credited. Now we have to write the journal entry. What is the journal entry? Furniture account data to bank account. Okay. Furniture account data to bank account. Okay. Amount is 12,000. 12,000. Narration I am writing. Being furniture purchased by check. Same thing I can write. Whatever the transaction may they have written, same transaction you can write in the narration by adding a word being. Okay. So this is a journal entry. We'll do one more last one. Okay. So sixth one. Okay. Goods purchased 12,000. Now you have to identify two accounts. So some students might be saying, sir, one is goods account, one is purchases account. No, here the only account is purchases and another account is cash. Sir, they did not mention cash. No, how come you are saying it's a cash? And sir, why you are not taking goods account? Why purchases account? First, we'll understand what is goods. Goods are something which we buy or sell in our business regularly. Okay, from starting we are taking example restaurant business. What will you buy in your business regularly? Might be vegetables, might be meat, might be masala, oil, okay, and other things which are related to food. So you'll buy this regularly or not? When a business is buying this for business, it's a goods. Okay, by using these goods, the business will make a food and they sell it. They are selling it regularly or not? This is also good. Sir, then why you are not writing the good? I have understood the meaning of good. Now, why you are not writing the goods account? Why you are writing a purchases account? See, in books of accounts, we don't write the goods account. We write the purchases account or sales account. If you are purchasing the goods, we write purchases account. If you are selling the goods, you will write the sales account. Okay, so here I am purchasing the goods, so I'll write the purchases account. Okay, now coming to this, or why cash? They did not mention cash. No, when nothing is mentioned, in the question, I assume it's a cash transaction. I have purchased it. So when I have purchased it, something I have to pay, right? So I have paid in cash. So by default, it's a cash transaction. So one is cash account. Now again, you have to do same thing. Purchases comes under which category? Is it asset? Is it a liability? Is it income or something else? It's a income. I'm sorry. It's expenditure. Okay, it's expenditure. After finding the category, whether it is increase in expenditure or decrease in expenditure, you have to think. Okay, so when you're purchasing goods, it's an increase in expenditure. So increase in expenditure should be debited or credited. Obviously, it should be debited. Now coming to the cash. When you have purchased a goods for cash, your cash balance will reduce or it will increase. It will reduce because you're giving cash from your pocket or from your cash box. It will reduce. So decrease in cash. Decrease in cash is nothing but decrease in asset. So decrease in asset should be debited or credited. It should be credited. So the general entry will be purchases account debtor to cash account. Okay, narration being goods purchased for cash. Okay, I have to write the amounts, that is 12,000 and 12,000. So this is what. So you might have understood. Okay, if you know the rules of debit and credit, you have to identify a transaction. You have to identify the accounts in it. After identifying the accounts, you have to identify under which category it will fall. After identifying the under which category it will fall, you have to identify whether it is increasing or decreasing. Then you have to apply the debit and credit. Okay, it's so damn easy. But you have to know the categories of accounts. Salary comes under which account, which category. Income, rent issue comes under which category. These things, if you know, accounts is damn easy. Okay, it's not a rocket science. Okay, almost some other people might took the accounts because maths is harder for them or science is difficulty for them. Okay, I tell you, accounts is the easiest subject. Sir, how can you tell this? Because I'm a failure student. In my 12th, I failed in MPC subject. So that's why I took the BCom and I was a college topper. And I never attended a single class in my college. Just before 1 month of my exam, that was a yearly once exam. Just before 1 month of exam, I have attended the class and I took the classes from my Guruji Apparao sir. Now today I am the college topper. Okay, he has taught me everything. See, basically accounts and commerce subjects are related to our lives. Okay, might be accounts you're recording in a single entry system. You may not be following the particular system, that is double accounting system. But we know that one, but we don't know how to do it properly. We know economics, but we don't know theoretically. Okay, that's what we learn here. So it's a easier subject. Okay, now 1 second. So we'll stop the class here. If anyone is having any kind of doubt, they can ask me. Okay. Yeah. You can ask.
Thank you so much, Vinay, for that informative session. As Vinay mentioned, that the session is open for questions. If there are any questions that you want to ask regarding whatever was taught right now, you can go ahead and ask.
So yeah, students, you can ask me the doubts. Okay, we can clarify. Please feel to communicate here. Okay, no one is seeing your face. Okay, so you can ask me the questions. Okay, it can be a silly also.
I'd urge all the attendees to quickly ask questions. I think we have one question.
There is
How
one
many?
doubt, Sinchana. How many total accounts are there? Okay, there are infinite accounts are there. Infinite accounts are there. Okay, but you can categories are limited. It can fall under some category. It might be asset, it might be liability, it can be income, it can be categories will be limited, but accounts will be so many. Okay, when you are running certain business, okay, it will have different accounts, salaries account, wages account, machinery account, cash account, bank account, okay, loan account. It can be anything, infinite accounts, but it should be related to business and it should have a monetary value. That we call it as a account. But categories will be limited. As I told you, asset, income, expenditure, losses, capital, liabilities, all this will be there. Okay, categories will be limited, but accounts will be infinite. Okay, I hope I have explained you the doubts, Sarosh. And anyone? Any doubts? Feel free to ask.
Okay, if there are more questions coming up, I'd like urge those attendees to ask quickly. I believe everything was explained really well by Vinay, so most of you all wouldn't have many doubts. Okay, so we can wrap our session for today as we have time constraint. We cannot really exceed the time. So yes, so as Saroj said, this was a great explanation also, Vinay. Thank you so much. So as we've reached to the end of the session, I would like to inform you that this session has been recorded. It will be available on UrbanPro's YouTube channel in case you want to access the recording one more time. And to connect with our speaker, you can book a demo by clicking on the link shared in the chat box. I have shared the link in the chat box. In case you want me to do that again, I'll do it.
Saroj, you can demo book as Sinchana has told me. Okay, if you like my explanation and if you want to continue the classes with me, so you can fix a demo with me. Okay, and we can continue the classes there. And I'm sorry for the lot of disturbance. I don't know, today only the construction work is just started behind my house, so I'm so sorry for the disturbance. And
We
that
didn't
was
really
okay.
feel that much of disturbance coming in, Vinay. That was totally fine. This is something that everybody faces when you're working from home. Yeah, that is totally fine. No, not an issue. Okay, so I have linked Vinay's profile below in the chat box, and for the YouTube viewers, it is available in the description as well, also in the chat box again. Also, to get regular updates on interactive live masterclasses and informative lesson videos, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. The link for the same is also in the chat box. Um, Also, your feedback is valuable for us. So do not forget to fill up the form post session. It will help us improve and bring masterclass topics of your choice. And before I take a leave, I would really like to thank our speaker, Mr. Vinay Raj, for investing your valuable time here. Thank you so much, and also for all the audience for being such wonderful audience here. So thank you so much, everyone. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Sanjana, for assisting me, and thank you, students, for joining the class. I hope you have liked it. Okay, if anyone interested to continue the classes, you can schedule a demo with me. Okay.